What's going on, guys? Marco Flores here with Nerd in the Bay, and we're doing a different type of video today. We're talking about the open beta for King of Fighters 15, kind of my thoughts after some time, has passed. My thoughts and feelings of like what the beta was about, and how I felt playing the games and playing the matches and all that jazz, and kind of my hopes of this possible next beta. Because we'll dive right into it, but I hope there is going to be another beta coming down the line before the release of King of Fighters 15 in February. So my initial thoughts after some time has passed, like I mentioned before, is that I just wanted more, right? I wanted more. I basically wanted the game right now, right? I wanted the game to be available now, because I was playing the games, even though I was losing a lot, I was loving just being into the matches, trying to get to know these characters that were available to us in this open beta, and just trying to get the nuances and getting my experience of fighting games, into the field. And I'm as I was playing matches with other people versus like just Bunkatsu. Shout out to Bunkatsu there. A lot of these people were more the minded. I feel like a lot of these people were more minded of like just King of Fighters, right? But that's just me assuming, because there were some things that I was doing from other fighting games that people weren't picking up at the moment. But as time passes, as we do more matches, then like, okay, yeah, you start to see the nuances, aka tick throwing, the shimmying from like Street Fighter 5 and other games. But yeah, just trying to put my experiences in other fighting games into King of Fighters 15. And yeah, like just kind of melding this into a new experience for these people that we may come across as the game comes out to release, and we're playing matches with the entire community. So yeah, I was just wanting more of it. I just wanted more play time. I wanted more time with the beta. I missed out on like a day or so, which sucked. But I'm thankful for the time that I was able to play with the matches, and just getting to know the characters once again, especially the returning characters for King of Fighters 15. But yeah, just some of the issues that I was running into. So the beta was promised that non-PS Plus users can jump into the beta. So when I initially tried to, I got locked out, and apparently this was an error on Sony side, I would say. I would say it was on Sony's side, because it was locked behind needing to be a PS Plus member user, which sucked, right? Because SNK was promising that you didn't need PS Plus to jump into the beta, and then clearly, just as everybody was kind of complaining on Twitter, on social media, that's not the case. You needed PS Plus just to get in and play. So essentially, people paid, if you made that choice to pay for PS Plus to try out a beta that was promised, that was supposed to be free for non-PS Plus users. It sucked. That sucked, right? Because people were addressing it every single day of the beta, and unfortunately SNK didn't like address that. They were aware of it, but they couldn't really do anything on their end, because it was more on the Sony side of it, which sucks, right? So I will talk about like my hopes for another beta coming down the line, hopefully before release, as we just get towards basically towards the last half of like the release schedule, with all these character trailers and things that are coming up for release, right? So yeah, that sucked. And like initially I didn't have PS Plus, but I finagled my way, I would say, into being able to get PS Plus for the year. So I'm good to go, basically, to have some matches with you guys, and that actually makes me debate which type of King of Fighters 15 game that I'm gonna get, because initially I was gonna go for the Steam version, but now that I have PS Plus now, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should go for the PS4/5 version. So I have some questions in the air with that for me. So that's it. That was it for me in terms of my experiences with the beta. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved playing the matches with Bunkatsu and the other people in the King of Fighters community and on the Discord. And even though I was losing a lot, I was just having a blast playing a fighting game online. It's not the same as a local scene, but it's the next best thing, right? That's my thoughts on the King of Fighters open beta yeah, just moving on to the characters themselves. So I'm gonna be just sharing my thoughts and feelings on each of the characters that I played with that was on the open beta. So just first off, we're just gonna go down a list. There's some characters that I definitely needed time to figure out, and it kind of showed when not only playing against the characters themselves, but being comfortable in trying to play other people with these characters. And those characters that I feel like I needed time to dive into the lab and try things out and be comfortable with are mainly Chizuru, who else? Chris, and mainly Dolores. Those are the three: Dolores, Chizuru, and Chris that I felt like really uncomfortable playing. But yeah, I just feel like I needed more time to like stew in the lab and just trying things out. But I should have just played and take the L and try things out even regardless, right? But yeah, those three characters that I was just feeling uncomfortable with, especially with Dolores, just trying to get her nuances of like the far range and knowing when to throw like some of the specials. Like I was, of course, playing Bonkatsu. I was on the receiving end of a lot of those moves, which is good. It was good knowledge and good data, just to like get my thought process around it, how to get around it, and there were some things that I couldn't get around, which is like the Dolores's ground command grab, and I couldn't. At that time I couldn't, like, I didn't have an answer for that. So yeah, just needing some time with Dolores, Chizuru, and Chris. But I'm actually surprised that I was more interested in Chizuru, just playing around with her in the lab in practice mode. And I'm like, okay, I can see the setups that you can do with this. But like, I threw out my initial, like, who am I gonna play tier list out there on the community post and on social media. And Chizuru is like, dead last basically. Because I was like, I'm not really interested in Chizuru. So yeah, I'll just put her last. But I was more interested in everybody else basically. But when I got hands on with Chizuru, like, okay, this feels pretty good. Just trying out her moves. Like, it's a little weird. But like, again, I never played with Chizuru back in '96. I believe that's when she debuted. And then, like, coming back again for like '98. All the dream matches, 2002 and 3. Well, maybe 3 she was mid boss, I think, or she was like pre-end boss. But yeah, not much experience with Chizuru playing with her. But the time that I did spend with her, like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just getting to know this character. So like, maybe she's gonna be more like, she's gonna go up a tier, and like, maybe dabble here and there, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe out of nowhere, I'll have like a pocket Chizuru. We never know. So yeah, that's Chizuru. Dolores, yeah, again, just needing to figure out her nuances when it comes to her moves. Like, I was getting it in practice mode, but like putting it in application of doing it in a match, like I definitely needed to just dive into, so like doing like getting like 1,000 losses and just trial and error basically with Dolores. She does have a great poke with her hard kick, I believe it was. I don't think it was a CD, but like maybe it was a CD, because I kept on getting hit with it basically, and Monkatsu was well aware of that. That's a good poking move with Dolores. So yeah, just needing more time with Dolores there. But like, I'm more interested with her being a new character, what she can do, and actually with her story as well. But then, and last of all, like Chris, just being that speedy, maneuverable person that he is, just getting to know how his moves work in the field, right? In playing the game. Like, I dabble a little bit. I did some matches with Chris, and like, okay, and I got hit with a lot of the Chris stuff as well. But yeah, I just need more time when it comes down to it, especially with these 3 characters: Chizuru, Dolores, and Chris. I just need more time with the beta, and doing 2 streams of it, like, it was great. I got like a good introduction of it, but I needed more time than that too. But yeah, that's it with those characters. The other characters, of course, we'll go down the line. I was playing more of, as you can see on the video, is just you know, Shune, Kyo, Iori, Yeshiro, and Shermie. And we'll start off with the Team Orochi characters. Yeshiro, he feels basic, but at the same time, he's a heavy hitter to play as you play, right? I'm still getting to know his moves, especially his flare sweep, and you know, in terms of like his recovery on his buttons, like what's an anti-air, which button is an anti-air, and you know, just going through that thought process of like, okay, what's good for poking, footsie, anti-air, you know, going through that list. Well, with Yeshiro, like, it felt pretty good. Like a beginner like myself, not knowing Yeshiro at all, playing with the character, like it felt pretty good. Just, I mean, landing moves, of course, landing in terms of combo potential and just stringing the moves along. I felt pretty good, you know. Not to say that like I have Yeshiro down, but like it felt pretty good on progress of like what I was able to handle with Yeshiro, and I still got work to do, of course, especially with all the characters that they showed off in the beta. But yeah, Yeshiro, I felt pretty good, and if I just had more time, I'd probably be a better Yeshiro player than I showcased on the stream. So yeah, that's it. Yeshiro. With Shermie, it's a little bit more difficult because another new character from my experience. Never got to play with her on the previous versions of her and Yeshiro. Getting to know her buttons, trying to connect things with her buttons, and I had a little bit of a harder time trying to connect her command grabs, but you were able to combo with them, which is great. But I was trying to get that going. But I loved her mix-up hurricane, where she can, like, if you go past the opponent, you can switch off and hit the other side. So that was like a great cross-up, not if the opponent is not expecting. But yeah, once I started to get going, like, okay, do setups with the grabs, and then I was starting to feel like, okay, more comfortable with Shermie, and just doing the dash command grab, doing like the command grab off of a block string, you know, and just going through that process. And like I was starting to feel the closest thing that I can relate to this is as getting it to click as a T-Hawk player when I was playing in Street Fighter 4, and I was a new T-Hawk player at that time when he got released for Super Street Fighter 4, I believe. It was starting to click like that. It's like, okay, the moves, these are the moves, these are the buttons. Maybe I can do this, and trial and error in that sense. So Shermie, like I start to get a grasp as the beta was progressing, and then same thing with Yeshiro. But the surprise for me was Shune. Shune was a surprise for me. I know for Shune, he is like beginner, like really beginner friendly. Like I guess like Yeshiro, if like Yeshiro is beginner friendly, that you can hit hard and not do much, but like you can do like the basic stuff and get some damage in. With Shune, I was surprised that I was able to, I guess, get what he's about quickly, in a sense. Just being able to have his like quote unquote projectiles with his hands, and it is like range projectiles, so it's not going full screen. But being able to cover that with his dash move, like his burn knuckle, his version of a burn knuckle, basically. Yeah, and then getting to know his buttons, like, and that I was playing more of the footsie game with Shune, as I was doing matches with Bonkatsu and then the other players that I was coming across. Yeah, Shune was the surprise for me. Just again, the ease of his moves that you know, be able to connect and understand, and at the same time, there's another half of the moves, like the air dashing, that I didn't get to play around with because, like, okay, I was more, you know, concerned or thinking about like I gotta get some hits in because I'm behind on experience right now with all these players, and I kind of basically need to catch up. But yeah, Shune was a decent surprise, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I can have a pocket Shune, and that surprised me, right? So yeah, Shune, it was a nice surprise. I just getting to know him and his buttons, his specials, his tactics, and all that stuff. So like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna dive into more Shune as like once the game is released, right? And then like once I'm able to dive into more King of Fighters 14 as well. But of course, the mainstays, basically the main popular guys, Kyo, Iori, and then we already talked about Yeshiro. But like Kyo and Iori, of course, yeah. I feel like at this point everybody has a Kyo or Iori. That's hard to say. A Kyo or an Iori. But yeah, I believe, you know, majority of the King of Fighters community have either a Kyo or an Iori, or they have both. Relearning who they are as characters and how their buttons are, and of course, like I feel like I have more experience with that, with playing with them in other games. But yeah, I was surprised I didn't play as much Iori as I thought I would be. But I was more like just wanting to focus on Kyo, if anything. But yeah, Kyo and Iori kind of basically playing the same that as I remember. I'm glad I was able to get some things going. I just needed to get more of like comboing going, and like, you know, using the meter well, right, with my EXs, max mode, quick max, and supers. I have yet to do supers or climaxes as I was playing with the beta. Maybe more on the end part of it, but like I wasn't using any climaxes or supers at the beginning part of the beta for me. I was just learning buttons and you know, what has footsie potential and who am I vibing with, basically. But yeah, just playing with supers is something that I needed to do if I had more time with the beta, and connecting and making combos. Basically, that's what I was trying to say. Making combos and trying to link a level 1 to level 3 to a climax, as we see on the, you know, the reaction trailers, or the trailers that we see, and then majority of the community is reacting to. To be able to do that in game was probably like, okay, that's almost the end goal, but like basically where I think I have a chance with more of the people in the community of King of Fighters. But yeah, Kyo and Iori, they play, yeah, like I said, they play pretty much the same. Again, at this point with the beta, I just needed more time. Playing around more with Shatter Strike, playing around more with Quick Max and Max Mode, and yeah, a lot of the mechanics part of it, I still needed to like have more time, and where can I fit Max Mode in? Where can I connect a special to a super and cancel to a level 3 super, that sort of thing. Just the nuances of the mechanics and the strategies that, you know, high level players at this stage of the game are doing now on the open beta. So yeah, just needed more time when it comes down to it, and hopefully we get another open beta right before release time, which is in February. But yeah, so my hopes for the next open beta is that we actually get another open beta. Again, going back to non-PS Plus players not being able to play the open beta, which like that sucked, because like SNK promised that, and they didn't deliver on that. Even though it may have been Sony's fault, it made SNK look bad in a sense, right? And, you know, not majority of the King of Fighters community, but the people that are not able to have PS Plus for various reasons, and I was almost one of them, but I was able to get it. Give them a open beta for them to be able to play, not using PS Plus, and as well as having a beta for the PC, for Steam, because again, initially my thinking was I was going to go get it for Steam. Now I'm kind of like, okay, what am I going to get it for PS4/PS5, or going for Steam? Don't know yet at this point. But yeah, I hope there's going to be another open beta. I hope we're able to play with another set of characters. I hope that next beta has a form of like Terry, Andy, and probably Joe, and the newer characters like Hydern, Whip, Angel. There's King, there's Luong, there's Ramon, King of Dinosaurs, Antonov. Antonov would be great in the beta. Maybe bring back Isla, Kukri. You know, you may go down the list. K-Dash. Let's see, anybody else? Benimaru, Mienten-kun. Mienten-kun was available for open beta, actually, if you, I guess, stopped it or played once the initial download was finished, and not finished the download fully, Mienten-kun was available in practice mode, you know? So maybe bring Mienten-kun back and being able to play in the beta. So yeah, I mean, you have that range of characters, and then whatever characters that are coming out next, as by the time of this video. So that's my hopes for the I guess the next open beta, if there is going to be one, is to be able to have the non-PS Plus members or players to be able to jump in and just go give it a shot and play, as well as having a different set of roster characters that we got from this initial open beta. Just play with the rotation of the characters, and you know, since I don't have a Kim, unfortunately, and it makes me sad to say that, I gotta figure out what team that I could possibly have at this point in this stage of the game. Once all the characters are announced and the whole roster is known, I gotta figure out, like, okay, who's gonna be on this initial team until I'm thinking Kim shows up on one of the DLC teams or the next season. However they want to see fit with how they do DLC teams or characters. But yeah, that's my hope. Another open beta for the non-PS Plus players. Different rotation of characters. And yeah, we're kind of, yeah, at this point, that's pretty much it for my hopes. So we're pretty much at the end part of like the release schedule, and it's getting closer. Like, next month is January. We're recording this video in December. Next month is January, and then February, boom, it's release time, and we don't know, you know, the DLC teams yet. So yeah, it's pretty exciting times for the open beta. Yeah, I know people have been already threw out their first impressions and thoughts and feelings about it, but I just wanted to, you know, have some time pass before I, you know, throw out my video of, like, you know, what I thought and feel about the open beta. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are about the open beta and what your feelings are for King of Fighters 15. What are you hoping for if there's a next open beta, you know, down like in like next month, basically? What set of characters that you want to play around with? Do you have a set team that you guys have? Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time for the next video, whether it's King of Fighters or a reaction video or a stream. I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, take care, guys. Peace.